Yeah, sure. Sounds good. My name is Iva Marinkovic. Don't sweat it on the last name. Everybody gets it wrong. It's okay. I started watching the show when I was in like fifth grade and I was living in Europe. So I had to pay extra for the channel every time I wanted to watch an episode. So I kind of skipped around when I first watched the series. And I also never had like anybody to talk to because nobody in my country spoke English. So it was really tedious at the beginning. And then when I moved to Arizona, which where I live currently, I decided to watch the entire series like to the fullest, so I don't skip episodes.
Yeah,
And yeah, that's pretty much my story.
that's awesome. Oh my gosh, so you still live in Europe?
No, right now I'm in Arizona.
Okay, but you used to? That's awesome.
Yeah, I lived there for like 14 years, and then last 5 years we moved here. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how do you like Arizona?
I love it. It's not really a fun state, but it's nice. It's a family state, so I love that.
Okay. That's good. Okay, so we're talking about the Lucifer Rising episode with Ruby and Sam, where Ruby convinced Sam to break the last seal and kill Lilith. And I know you love Sam. Is he your favorite character?
Oh yeah, he's my favorite like
That's-
human being, like person and fictional character and anything.
I know I love Jared. He's the best. And yeah, so do you want to talk about like how you love Jared or like
Yeah.
why he's your favorite?
Well, okay, there's like I can rant about that for like
Yeah.
days. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna hold myself to it and just tell you a couple of facts. I don't know. I guess, well, first of all, he's like the most handsome human being out there. I mean, let's be
Yeah.
honest there.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like his ethic, that's what I admire. He really puts his heart and soul into his characters, into his work. And I'm the person who likes to think about everything he needs to sacrifice in order to produce this show.
Yeah.
And it's crazy when I read that, his family is in Austin and he has to be in Vancouver and film and work. And like, I mean, even actors have bad days and they're supposed to film and, kind of make their work schedule work for them. It's insane. So yeah, I love that whatever he does, he really puts his heart and soul into. And I love his always keep fighting campaign. I am someone who faced depression and I still do sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's good to be part of that, and it's good to know that you always have a family and a support system that's going to listen and understand.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I love his Always Keep Fighting campaign because I have anxiety. So I like listening to like his interviews and stuff where he talks about it. I feel like it's really like soothing.
It is,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it is. Um, yeah, so I guess let's see. We can talk about so did you watch the episode?
Oh my, are you kidding? It's my favorite episode. It's my favorite
Really?
ending.
Your favorite episode?
Yeah.
I love that. Oh my gosh. So why do you like like, why is it your favorite?
Well, here's the thing. I feel like Ruby as a villain is, on Supernatural, you have the villains that are likable, like
Yeah,
Ruby, like Crowley, like the Darkness or Amara. Those we kind of like. We appreciate how cool they are, right? And
yeah.
then you have a different villains like Chuck and Lilith that were like, I just hate you. Like, why are you there? So I love that. I appreciated Ruby so much. She's one of my favorite characters in the entire show, apart from the boys, of course.
Yeah.
And just her badass like girl power at the very end. She's like, I'm awesome. Like even you have to admit I'm awesome. And I was like, yes,
Yeah.
girl, you are. You kicked it there.
She did. She made everyone believe that she was like really helping Sam and
She
she
got me.
I know, she got me too. I was like, "Oh wow." But I love her monologue. Like it's amazing. I'm like, "Wow, she really did do that."
Yeah, no, I what I love is that at the very beginning I thought, okay, yeah, she's a demon and she's doing this for herself, obviously. Like Sam, don't be stupid, don't listen to her, right? But then as the season progressed, and I was like, well, she's saving their bacon a couple of times and she's
Yeah.
constantly helping them. And
Yeah.
then I think back to season 3 and she was always there to help. And I was like, maybe I'm just being like too judgmental of her. Maybe she's a villain going good?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but no, that last episode was just like, you were right from the very beginning. You should have
Yeah.
listened to yourself.
Yeah, it's a great ending. It is a great ending.
It's one of my favorites. That one and Swan Song. Those two were
Oh,
like
yeah.
the most like climactic endings of the season.
I agree. I also like the season 14 ending. I feel like that was really like crazy because like Chuck got everyone up from the dead and stuff. I was like,
Yeah, it was
oh.
that was very like action based. I felt like, oh my god, so much stuff is going on. But
Yeah,
this was more like, I don't know, it's just like the whole opening of the gate, Lucifer rising, just
yeah.
like, and I love how it was Lazarus rising for the first episode of season 4, and then Lucifer rising the last one. I was like, this is so cool. I love that.
Yeah, no, that was really cool. That's a really cool aspect of it. So like what was your favorite scene in this episode?
Ah, that's hard. Okay, here's what I love about the episode.
Yeah.
Because Jen is such a talented actress that in all other episodes, she was like bad internally, but outside she was like good. She was trying to be there for Sam, support him. And then in this last episode, I feel like her whole demonic side came out and she was just bad. You know, you could see it in her eyes and her body language. So I loved how Sam was constantly having doubts, like when he had to kill the woman that was possessed by, or was it a woman that was possessed by a demon?
Yeah, it was the nurse. She was a
Yeah,
nurse
exactly. Yeah.
and they kidnapped her.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and she was like, just do it. Like, come on, like, let's get this done, right? And I was like, wow, like, why did I like this villain in the first place? Like,
I
what
know.
happened there?
She was just like so nonchalant about it. She was like, just do it. Like,
Yeah, like, let's get this done. Come on, chop chop. I got a devil to free.
I know, right? Oh my God, it was crazy. But so I also saw on your page that you do Jen's book club. That's really cool. How is
Yeah,
that?
she is my real life role model and will
Yeah.
forever be. I just love how compassionate she is about the world and how her main goal is to improve herself and everybody that follows her.
Yeah.
So after watching Supernatural, and I was like, yeah, she's a badass actress. I mean, obviously, but
Yeah.
I was like, let me see what she does in like her, regular life. And then I learned how much we have in common. Like we're both notorious readers. I read like 3 books a month. Like I'm not even kidding. It's just like, let's read. So I joined the book club and it's amazing. We read 1 book per month, and then she has webinars where authors come in and they talk about their books and really share like how the words came about. And I love that. And I love that every webinar I feel really understood by both her and her guests, and I always learn something new, so I'm all about that, and I love that she does that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I love her. I watched her sustainability IG like lives, and I really liked it because I'm trying to like grow plants now because of her. She's like inspired me to try to grow plants. And I'm like, "Oh, it's not really working right now." But
Yeah, it's just like, but you know what I learned about that? I learned that gardening is about failure. So
yeah,
it's just
oh, thank you. Because I'm trying to grow arugula and it was going good and then it kind of died and I was like, "Oh, well that's sad."
I grew chili peppers, and
Yeah,
surprisingly it first went good and then it's just like turned bad in like a couple of days, and was like, I didn't do anything different, why?
right. I was like, "Why is this happening?"
Well, we tried. That's a good thing. We're willing to try.
Yes, yes, and she has definitely inspired me a lot.
Yeah, she inspires me on daily basis to like not allow myself to be overwhelmed by expectations and what I want to be,
Yeah.
because I'm gonna go to med school soon,
Oh,
and
that's
it's
amazing.
yeah, it's very overwhelming and
Yeah,
high expectations, very competitive. And I just always remind myself, if you can't do it, it's okay. You're human. You
yeah,
can't do everything, so you
yeah.
might as well just accept that.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I like that a lot because I'm in school right now too, and it gets like it gets overwhelming. And sometimes you just have to be like, you know what, nobody's perfect. Like it'll be okay.
It's not even I don't want to disappoint people who like believe in me and are sending me to school and they want me to like do good. I feel like I'm letting them down by
Yeah.
doing bad in a class, or just like not feeling motivated to really do anything. So
Yeah.
it's those things that
Mhm.
she inspires me to change, and to understand that it's okay if I'm having like a couple of crappy days.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Yeah, she's amazing. So, what about Lilith? Did you like Lilith or did you think like that was
Well,
a good story?
obviously I didn't like her.
No,
Come
no,
on.
yeah, I liked her storyline though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. I
Yeah.
here's what I like about Supernatural. They create this great evil, and then they put it in the body of a little girl.
Yeah, right. They've done that so many times.
Did that with the darkness initially.
I know.
I was like, there's these two huge Texan dudes going against this little girl, and she's like this all evil creature. I was like, that's so funny and so great. I love that.
It is. Oh my gosh. And then Eve was like she wasn't a
She was
little
a
girl.
tiny
She was
woman, and
tiny.
I was like, really? Like she's like the all bad, all evil.
Right.
But I loved her team up with Ruby. I didn't see it coming at all because apparently only Lilith knew about Ruby's double agent plan, which is crazy. Because the entire season, Ruby was like, "Let's kill Lilith. Let's get it done." Like I hate her. She's such a,
Right.
I was like, they work together. Like that's such a girl power right there.
It is. And I love that they were the only ones that knew. I loved it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was great.
And it's funny because when they had the fight scene with Alistair, he was so angry with Ruby for like abandoning her kind to go with humans. And at the very end, when Ruby had her, legendary speech, she said like, yeah, not even Alistair knew, only Lilith. I was like, you badass.
Yes. Girl power. That's awesome. Yeah, I do. I love this episode. It's a great episode. Yeah. And I guess, I didn't see her betraying them coming. Like I was like, oh my gosh, because I actually really liked her. And I just started watching Wildfire again. Have you ever seen Wildfire?
God, yes. Are you kidding?
Yes. I was like, I think it came out when I was in 5th grade, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I remember watching this, like back in my mind somewhere. I remember watching this. So I was like, oh, I love her as an actress. So I never expected like her to be evil.
I feel like we were all too focused on a very big chemistry going on between the two. I mean, well, did somebody turn the heater on? What happened? Right? That we didn't even focus on her plan. It was all about like them on TV, and I was like, what? Like, I knew something was going on. Like, let's be honest, it was so obvious.
I know, right? They're perfect for each other. They're like couple goals. Oh my god. Yeah. I wish. I'm like, oh, one day.
And it's funny every time Jared, if you watch like panels or conventions, every time he speaks about her, he's like hyper toddler going on. I was like, hard eyes.
It's so cute. And then like, did you see it was for like the Super Awards, and they did that little skit about like Walker? Did you see that?
Oh, yes, I did. About her not carrying a gun, right?
Yeah. That was so cute. I was like, oh, they're so cute.
I know, they're like married for a while. Like, I wish I could have that kind of marriage where I can still be like utterly in love with my partner.
Right. I think it's been like 10 years or more.
Yeah, it's insane. 3 kids, and I mean, she just walked in on set and that happened. Like life is crazy like that.
Yeah.
And she said multiple times, I had no idea that this was gonna happen. Like it just kind of happened. And like and I was like, all right, I judged him. Let's do this.
Yeah. Well, I think that shows it was meant to be. Like it was supposed to happen.
And I just love how Jensen and Daniil and Jared and Jen are like one big family, and they they live close to each other, and they appreciate each other, and they support each other. And it's rare. I feel like, especially in like acting business, it's like all competition. I want to be better. I want to be a lead role, But for them, it's really not, And I love to hear what Jensen had to say about Walker and how much support he gave Jared. And I was like, oh, that's such a brother moment.
It is. I love them. I love that they're real life brothers. It makes me so happy. I think that's one of the reasons I love this show so much, like, is that they really love each other in real life. And that makes it so much more special when you're watching it, because you're like, oh, they really do care about each other.
Yeah, I feel like that's why the relationship they have feels real on screen. I feel like you can fake so much, but it's still going to be like, oh, like they're acting,
Yeah.
But like when they look at each other, and especially when they have the BM scene,
Yeah.
I had to mention it. It really feels like Jared and Jensen talking about like them and their bond and their relationship. And I was like, that's awesome. And I think that's why, the fan base and family, I like to call, really grows by day. So
yeah, I agree. So are you excited for Walker? I'm excited for Walker. It's coming.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
I can't wait. I'm like, yes. Oh, yeah.
I already bought my snacks.
You
So
did?
yes, it's gonna be like a pizza day. So it's gonna be all junk food, which is
I
okay.
love
It's,
it.
Thursday, let's go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get done all of my homework, everything early, so I can have the entire evening just for Walker.
I love
I
that.
can't wait. I feel like it's gonna be so different, and seeing Jared on screen as something other than Sam Winchester is gonna be bittersweet for me. I feel, because I
Yeah.
love the character and I love the show, but I feel like he should put Sam to rest in order to give rise to Walker.
Yeah.
You can't be like, I love Sam so much, I want to see Sam and Walker. It's a different character, it's a different show, and you should appreciate that. And
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. I'm excited too. It has been bittersweet. I'm always like, oh man, like I'm so excited, but also like, oh, this kind of hurts. Like, no.
now I am currently in the process of rewatching this series because I can't say goodbye to it yet. I'm just
I
not
love that.
mentally prepared.
Where are you at right now?
I'm on just the beginning of season 11.
Oh, wow. Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's great.
That's
That's
actually one, apart from season 4 and 5, that's one of my favorite seasons
yeah,
because I love Amara, or Emily, the actress.
yes,
So talented. That's crazy.
it is. Yes, I love Amara. I didn't, okay, at first, I will admit I didn't like the storyline, but then as I rewatched it, I was like, oh, I really love her. I'm like, this is actually really great. And I've come to like love it. Just like the Mena letters. Like, I feel like at first I didn't really like it. And then now I'm like, oh no, but it's so interesting.
Oh, well, I feel the first time, I agree with you, because the first time I saw Men of Letters, I was like, that's just kind of going in a completely different direction. The
Mhm.
whole idea was of boys not having a home. They go to
Right.
motel rooms, they work. It's like
Right.
chaotic. And it's interesting because it's chaotic. But
Yeah.
now for the first time, they have a home. And then I remember Sam saying, but this is not our home. This is where we work.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, that's exactly what I thought the first time that part came. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is why he's my comfort character. We think the same way.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah, they like changed drastically after that point. But yeah, I think the more I rewatched it, the more I love it. Like
I feel like that's me with every season. I am
yeah.
okay. I will be completely honest with you. I did not appreciate the beginning of season 8 with
Mm.
Amelia and
Oh,
that
I
storyline.
hate that part. I fast forward that every single time.
Oh yeah, me too. No, I never watched the first 10 episodes ever.
No,
Just
no.
like because and Jared said it too, and I felt like he should have had the say in that because he
Yeah.
is Sam. He is,
Yeah.
he's portraying that character.
Yeah.
And he himself said Sam wouldn't do that. He wouldn't just
No.
forget about his brother and leave him in
No.
purgatory. Like the
Right.
whole
No.
point of their relationship is that they do whatever they can to help each other.
Exactly.
So like,
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Agree.
But I feel like, yeah, that was a heartbreaking moment for me in the series. And also the fight between Sam, I was about to say Jared, just and Sam and Dean in season 4 when he chose Ruby over Dean was very heartbreaking. Like, I love Ruby, don't get me wrong, but like, you don't choose a chick over your brother, man. Like, you don't do that.
No. No, I agree. And yeah, no, I agree. I hate the Amelia storyline. I just think it makes no sense. And I'm like,
That
yeah.
one makes okay. Here's what I don't like. If you want to put a love interest, at
Mhm.
least make it fit the storyline. Like
Yeah, right.
yeah, Amelia didn't make sense at all, especially at the time that they were in.
So I love how they go back and forth and show like how it got started in this episode. Cause remember he like I guess a long time ago killed all those nuns in the covenant and then he like went and he like gave Sam the demon blood. That's what Lucifer said, and that Lilith was gonna do it. Like she was gonna be the one to break the seals. I love that part. Like, do you
I just love how everything was so orchestrated and we had
yeah,
no idea.
right,
Yeah.
right. For
I
so
felt like
long.
I really felt like the audience was supposed to feel like Sam because we had no idea about
Yeah,
the entire plan from Azazel to Lucifer to Ruby to Alistair to everyone. They
yeah,
were just all in on it, you know?
yeah,
And
yeah.
we're like this kid afraid of this demon blood in us and we had no idea what's going on. Like, why am I supposed to be the vessel? I don't want to be the vessel, you know?
Right, right.
Um,
So this is when this was before Cass even like started doing things with them. He was like totally doing everything with the angels. And then at the last minute he goes against them and takes them to Chuck. And I was like, oh my gosh. And that was funny. Chuck is
funny.
hilarious in this episode.
So you know what's funny? It's
Yeah.
like we have on one side, we have Dean and Cass.
Yeah.
Cass being bad, 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 turning good. And on the other side, you have Sam and Ruby, Ruby being good and then turning bad.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that. I thought that was such a good parallel. And by the way, Cass was the hottest in season 4.
He was.
Even there, like, what? You know, I love that man.
Me too. I saw him and I was like, oh my gosh, Cass. This is when he
What?
was like young. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the most legendary entry of all times.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
so good.
He
It
is
was,
the best entrance ever. Like, he's amazing.
and I feel like his character is so different from who he is. It's so funny. I can't imagine Misha being that serious, you know?
No, neither
I'm
can I.
no, have you yeah, no. He's like the hyper toddler, just like Jared, you know.
Yeah.
Jared and Sam are like two opposite things. I was like, that's incredible that he can be both.
I know. I think that's so funny because I was like, I know that they talk about it, but like Jensen is more like Sam and Jared is kind of more like Dean. He's like the playful, like not always serious one. And then Jensen's like always very serious. And I was like,
I
I think
love
that's
their
so great.
conventions and I love how done Jensen is with Jared. He's like, shut up, please. Can we get this
Yeah.
over with?
Like his little brother. He's like, okay.
Okay, shut up now. We're talking.
Right.
We're being serious. We're being adults, not toddlers.
Right.
Yeah. It's funny.
It
Yeah.
is
But
funny.
I love that they can do both. I mean, that really shows what a good actors they are.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about? We have like 7 minutes or something like that.
Sure. Let's talk about the hottest scene of Supernatural, which is
Yes.
Sam and Ruby. I mean, what? Like what? There's like I just can't. It's just like
No,
steamy. It's
it
steamy.
is. It
Yeah.
is. Every time I watch it, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I would be like, Dean, I feel dirty now.
Right? And you can just
So,
tell. Like,
and I love the whole idea of like addiction and blood and like it's just a weird
it
it's
is.
a weird part of Sam. I always saw Sam as more of like a gentleman, vanilla kind of stuff. No, not really. No,
Not at all.
that's just turned around, you know?
They did a quick turnaround. They were like, okay, yeah, he's like the good guy. And then it's like, oh no, he's addicted to demon blood.
It was just I love that. The Boy King Sam was amazing. Soulless Sam,
I know. Oh my
I
god.
can't. I can't go with that. And then what's the other? Oh, and Lucifer Sam.
Mhm. Yes. Yes.
My, that was good. That
Yeah,
was one of the best performances ever. Like,
I agree. He was so good as Lucifer Sam. It was great.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just, I think that Jensen said the white
Mhm.
suit one, the white suit scene was his favorite,
Mhm.
and I was like, oh yeah, it was really good. Yeah, and
Mhm.
Jared said it's like I need to study the character and then study the voice. When he did Gadriel, he
Yeah.
had to talk in this weird voice,
Yeah.
and he prepared for it for like months. And
Wow.
I was like, that's commitment. Like that's the behind the scenes we don't know about. You know?
Right, right, that we don't like recognize. Yeah, no, totally. I think he's done so great at all the different like versions of Sam. He makes it so interesting. And yeah, I did like Gadriel too. Like I was like, that's good. Like he's doing really good at this. Like the way he like stood and walked, and it was just
And I
like,
feel like his whole demeanor is just like changed when he's
yeah,
real versus when he's Sam, and it's so obvious of a transition. And I was like, wow, that's really good. Like that
yeah.
takes talent and that takes work. Like I'm sure, you know.
Oh, totally. That takes a lot of work and a lot of focus, because you have to like switch from one person to the other. And that takes a lot of work.
Yeah. Now that we mentioned, actually, Gadriel is another like villain that we like. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
We
yeah,
appreciate him, especially like what he did at the very end. I was like, that's a good thing. And
yeah,
I mean, I always think to myself, like he made this one mistake and
yeah.
he was judged by it for the eternity. I made so many mistakes. I mean, I'm 20 and I've made like thousands, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
imagine if I was judged for every single one.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
insane.
I know, and that's why I did. I felt for Gadriel. I was like, "Oh, that's actually kind of sad. Like he just wants to do good, and
Yeah. He
he."
just thought he was doing the right thing. He just wanted to
Yeah.
clean his name and
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah. And then Gadriel is the good one. Crowley. What
Yeah.
happened with Crowley at the beginning? Can I talk? Beginning, he was, for me at least, I was like, all right. But then he grew good with age.
Yeah, I love
Good.
Callie. I think he's I just think he's so funny. Like, I think he brings like a lot of humor to the show.
I love the Boris and Natasha moment with Crowley and Rowena. I was like, goals. I love that.
I love Rowena too. She's one of my favorites.
Okay, first off, I love the actress. She
Yeah.
is just her voice, like
Yeah.
when you hear her talk, I was like, I can just sit there and take a nap.
Beautiful.
It's just so nice and like
Yeah.
slow and like soothing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but she was incredible. She was like, when you look at her, I was like, oh yeah, that's a good witch role. Like
Yeah.
that's really good. Yeah.
She's amazing. I love her.
And I love how she just keeps, avoiding death, almost like a true Winchester. You know what I mean?
She is, she does. And I love that they made her Queen of Hell. I'm like, yes,
Oh yeah.
that was
Mhm.
perfect.
Because Sam said there will be no new king of hell. He didn't say anything about queen.
Right,
So
exactly.
she got it there.
I'm so glad she did. I was like, yeah, she deserves it. She's amazing. Like, I'm glad that happened.
And I didn't expect her to go all weepy on hearing Crowley's death. I mean, they did hate
Yeah,
each other, you
I
know?
know. Right. Yeah.
But at the very end was like, I'm a mother and he's my son, and it's just like she was looking for this revenge, and I feel like Sam felt for her, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why she left him all the spells and potions and
Yeah.
everything, almost like he was her son in a weird way. I
Yeah.
like to think it that way. Some people shipped them, and I was like, are you
I
kidding
know.
me?
And I'm like,
Like
no.
300 years old.
I'm like, no, they're really good friends.
Yeah, please don't. I don't know why every time there's a girl in a show, they always
Yeah,
ship her with someone. I was
I
like,
know.
can she just be there on her own, please? They
Right.
shipped, they shipped Amara with Dean, and
Yeah.
she's like God's sister.
I
Really?
know. Like, she's powerful enough. Just let her be powerful.
Yeah, like she's single. Single rocks.
Right.
So, I like to think so because I'm single.
Same. I'm like, I agree. That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. This was
Thank
so
you.
fun.
We actually have to like just call each other and like geek about
Yes.
Supernatural, like
Oh my God.
outside of everything, because
Yes.
yeah, we're friends now.
Yes, definitely. We are totally friends.
Well, this was fun and this was really awesome, and it was my first time on a podcast.
Oh,
So,
yay. I'm so excited. You're my first like person I've ever like had on the podcast. So
woo, that's
yay.
fun.
I know. I'm so excited.
And I love your podcast, and I recommend it to all because it's fun and you really do like dive deep Winchester style into details, and I
Thank
love
you.
that. The Christmas episode was my favorite, just so you know.
Yay. I love Krampus. Thank you so much. That means a lot.
Yeah. Well, you keep doing you, because this is definitely a
You
unique
too.
way to pursue supernatural and to use it in your life, and it's great.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. Thank you for coming on. Like, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate being
Yeah.
on here, and I hope we talk soon.
Yes, we will, definitely.
All right, bye. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later.